The last few weeks, I've seen many elite runners here in the training camps. I also trained with several of them. Without naming or shaming anybody, most of them were Dutch or British long distance runners here on the training camp. Well, if you want to know what choices they make in training or recovery, or maybe life in general, stay tuned. In this video, I go over the do's and don'ts from elite runners in general. Let's have a look. Doing a warm up always and running drills? No. This only happens when there's a track session on the schedule. Besides this, for each runs there's no warm up at all, and for workouts there's always a short warm up and cool down. Strength training. Yes, they do strength training, however, things you notice are shorter distance runners go much more often to the gym, almost 3 to 4 times a week. Kenyan runners don't do strength training at all. Only the elite, like Elite Kipchoge, do it after the marathon, for example. Now, let's look at cross training. Is there some cross training going on? Yes, definitely. However, very little. Some ride the bike, of which most inside, which I think is pretty boring. I ride the bike once outside for 2 to 3 hours outside. I also saw Richard Ring today, a fast German marathon on the bike though. Skipping training or reducing training load when necessary. Well, this doesn't happen very often. Most of these runners are very experienced, although they do get tired, like myself, when you are training at the altitude at a higher volume. However, I rarely see somebody skip training. I saw one or two guys getting a bit sick, then of course they quit training, or one guy was getting a bit overtrained or too tired, and then he also starts to reduce the volume. But in general, pretty consistent in training. And last, about training, do they measure lactate? Well, it's a bit 50-50. It's becoming more popular these days, especially at altitude. It can be a good way to measure the effort levels of training where heart rate is not the best indicator. So I would say 50% of the elite runners use it regularly. It's still a tool to measure effort level, where feeling is still a good tool as well though. Let's have a look at the recovery and nutrition from elite runners. What do we do besides the running, or what do they do for recovery? Well, basically, they don't do shit. I got some side hustles going on, like making some videos and some other stuff. Um, but you see most of the elite runners do completely nothing, taking naps, eating snacks, watching a series, reading a book, but basically doing nothing. You're training twice a day here, and so they prepare mentally, physically, just by resting for the next training. Taking naps. Do elite runners take naps? Definitely. I take most days a short nap of 30 to 60 minutes myself. Most runners do, because there is a lot of time to kill between the morning and afternoon run. A short nap also speeds up the recovery. Some even sleep up to 2 hours during the day when they're destroyed by training. Do they get massage? Yes, most runners visit the massage here twice a week. Also, the Kenyan runners get massage once a week. Here you pay for full body massage only $4 for an hour. Last week we also went to Suicide Training Complex, where they have a sauna and an ice bath to relax and recover. Back home I don't often get massage, here I get massage once a week. Here you see the massage table in the garden. Is there also foam rolling and stretching going on? Well, that's a clear yes. Most of the runners perform some stretching or foam rolling after the workout. Into supplements. Do most elite runners use supplements? Also a definite yes. What they take differs most often between athletes. Here in altitude, most take some iron supplementation. To see what supplements I use, take a look at the link of the end of this video. Do some of the guys drink alcohol? Yes, some. Most only drink some after an important race and only a few times a year. Like myself as well, although I still enjoy a good beer or wine when I'm with friends. During New Year's Eve I celebrated here in a local bar as well with 2 beers. Very crazy. Do elite runners count calories or have a strict diet? No. Basically, nobody is counting calories or has a strict diet going on. I don't see anybody tracking what food they are eating. In general, people have some preferences about what they eat. However, most of them eat a lot of snacks, also to stack up the calories. So no strict diet at all. However, we burn a lot of calories up here and want to maintain weight. Some elite runners here, for example, eat Oreo cookies in the morning and sometimes Snickers after a long workout as well. Of course, there are also many proper and healthy meals, however, snacks are not avoided. Do elite runners make some mistakes once in a while or hit a perfect schedule every week? Of course not. However, I found out their consistency is pretty impressive and they are quite experienced so they can deal pretty well with the fatigue and the overall volume, which takes years to get there for most of them. And most of them also have like an injury record in the past, uh, which, uh, um, which they learned from and maybe adapted their training load to schedule. Well, these were the do's and don'ts from elite distance runners. It's of course all about finding balance in the sport. Also for success in the long term. Nobody's perfect, of course, and everybody takes a different approach. But these were the general insight from my training camps so far. And as always, if you still go out there today, have fun and get on a run.